welcome to this episode of Should I Say or Should I Go Movie Reviews. This week we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to have the first section of the review talk about non-spoiler type things, kind of our overall review, and then you stick around to the end and we'll talk about some things more in depth about the movie and maybe some spoilers. So we'll let you know before we move on to that section, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So what we see this time?
The Snowman.
The Snowman. You know, I really wanted to like it. The same director that did this did Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and he also did Let the Right One In. But anyways, really wanted to like it, but it just had some issues that were hard to get past. For that reason, I'm going to give it a 6.
So since we're going to talk about the movie itself later, I'm going to give it a 6 also. I expected it to be better than it was, and I was overall disappointed, but I'm going to give it a 6. And I want to talk about Marcus Ramberg a little bit. They didn't show it in the right ratio, so there's black boxes on the side of the movie, which I didn't like. So, it was not filmed that way. So I'm also giving it a 6.
I am not a fan of scary movies. So I went in thinking, I'm going to hate this. So thinking it was going to be a 1, I was pleasantly surprised that I actually liked it. So I'm going to give it a 6 as well. But just because there were parts in it that there was still a little bit of yuck, but the majority of it was a pretty good film.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. 6666. So
Halloween.
we were talking about it, and it was a real slow burn, and I kept thinking, okay, here comes the payoff. And instead of a good payoff and a tie-up, it kind of just fizzled out, really. So I think everybody was kind of thinking, okay, this might be going somewhere, and it was interesting.
It could have been, at least.
It took a while to kind of get into what was happening with the story. But, I think when the movie was over, we were all left wanting. So,
Yes.
6. But worth the watch. I say go.
I say go if you like
Yeah.
dramas or suspense or whatever. If you're looking for
Right.
a horror film or super scary,
No,
not
super
your
scary.
film.
Yeah.
It's a good Saturday afternooner.
Yeah, it was a good. It's a good, not necessarily even thriller. It's more of almost like a detective whodunit kind of thing,
Suspense.
with a little bit of suspense in there. Yeah,
Crime mystery. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So-
Fassbender, I thought, did a really good job. I thought the whole cast, the folks that were in there playing their roles, did a really good job. Do we want to at this point? So I think everybody's going with you should go. You know, enjoy it, but be prepared. It's not the best movie of 2017.
So if you're sleepy, don't go late.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert. Anyhow, for me, and this is probably not a big spoiler, but I think that they spent a lot of time and efforts trying to make it confusing about who did it. And I am a terrible whodunit person. Like, I never can figure that out. I figured it out pretty early on in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I even figured it out before Shane did,
Yeah.
which
Sharon
never
gave me the-
happened.
Sharon gave me the
I was like,
note. She's
oh,
like,
it's this person.
"It's
So
that
like,
guy."
I knew, but I think that they spent so much time for me with all these various characters in the beginning, and it's like, okay, so it's obviously not any of those people. But I felt like they spent a lot of time trying to get you to think it was those people.
Which, they kept me guessing for a while. I think a lot of people, it could have been him, it could have been...
I never really
Or is
felt
it the
like
main character?
that.
They started right off the bat with that, right? It was like, okay.
But that was too easy.
Yeah, right.
But then, like, the first 30 minutes for me, it's like it was here, and then it was there, and back here, and there, and I never knew who any of these people were or what was happening. So it took a long time for me to really figure out what was even
Well,
going on.
we all agreed, too, that it felt like it was really cobbled together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
maybe purposefully not having the continuity and things, but felt like a jigsaw puzzle that was missing some pieces.
Agreed.
That got under the carpet or something, and you couldn't.
And like you
So-
said, the end was just done.
Yeah.
It was like that was
Exactly. And
very
they felt like,
uneventful.
I felt like they drew the majority of the like the first 3/4 of the movie were full, and but then all of a sudden they just kind of, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
So as Sean, some friends of ours, Sean and Sherry, went to the movie with us as well, and we were actually talking at dinner afterwards a little bit about it. And so he got on the Googles and looked up if there's anything out there about the movie, and come to find out that originally Martin Scorsese was slated to direct the movie, and then he backed out or was in the project to work on something else, so he didn't, and then it got handed off to this other guy. And the director, if you look out on the internet, has actually said that they didn't shoot like 10 or 15% of the movie because of time constraints.
It showed.
And he says it shows. It shows in the movie because there's continuity issues, there's story gaps, storylines, things like that are just not connected together very well.
Yeah, you could tell by the dialogue at the end that they were trying to make up for the fact that things weren't connected the way they were supposed to. So they were, the very last 5 minutes of, oh, well, this is why, and that, and he's like narrating aloud. It was like, oh, come on, man.
Right.
Yeah. Harrison Ford in the original cut of Blade Runner narrating the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Sharon brought up the point about the film format. At first, until we got home later that day or the next day, we looked up the fact that the movie was filmed in 2.35 to 1, which is a very standard widescreen format that most theaters show movies in. A lot of movies are filmed in that aspect ratio, but it was projected in 4:3, so it looked like an old
Tube TV.
Yeah, old tube TV. And so we thought, well, maybe that's the way it was filmed, and it was a directorial choice.
Maybe they didn't have money or something.
Or,
like
or
that.
yeah, he wanted to show the people kind of compact into the frame so that they felt like there was this closeness or whatever. But no, it was not projected in the right format. So I'm not sure what was up with Warenberg and that faux pas. But yeah,
I hated that. In fact, it
guess-
took away from my pleasure of viewing the movie.
Well, Shane sent a message off, but I guess you never got a reply.
no, I never did.
But yeah, so if I'm going to the big screen, I want to see the big screen.
Right.
Fill that baby up.
And not be covering up the top either.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
Curtain. Yeah, the last time we went to a movie, the top third
It was
practically was
covered
covered with the
We
curtain.
had
So
to ask them to move it, but we were the only people there.
It
But
did,
anyway,
it did.
we digress. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, pretty good. Just broken, and
it had the potential to be a
Fassbender
good
had
movie.
he had a good relatable character, and you
Yeah.
could feel his pain and everything. And the Val Kilmer was weird.
yeah, Val
Yeah.
Kilmer.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for that guy.
He looked
didn't
terrible.
seem-
We're all like whispering each other, is that him? Because
Yeah.
when the opening credits roll, it says Val Kilmer, and we're like, really? I didn't know he was
Yeah,
in this.
I was like, awesome, can't wait. And then when he came up there, I was like, there he is. Oh my god,
Yeah.
he hasn't aged well. Apparently, he
Well,
struggled with some.
Did
cancer.
anyone ever confirm that that's how he actually looks right now, or was it makeup? I really felt like it was makeup.
I think
No,
it's an
yeah,
and prosthetics. Like I
he
feel like
had
they
the
did
tongue
stuff.
cancer, man. So I mean,
Oh, he did. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
'Cause
Sh-
Yeah,
Sean
that's
looked
why-
almost
like
like he had nuts in his mouth, like
you must have
Like
been
a
talking
squirrel,
when we were talking about
maybe.
that.
That's
That's not surprising.
usual.
But he was saying that somebody else overdubbed his lines. He didn't even speak his lines.
Yeah, he
Which
could,
you could tell.
yeah,
Wasn't his
he
voice,
couldn't.
for sure.
Yeah, because
Very noticeable in the movie.
he has a southern drawl, and it's one of those things that he just did not sound like him at all.
Yeah.
Felt bad for the guy because he looked rough.
And I didn't think they tied that part well to the rest of it.
Not at all. What was
I
this
did
point?
I did not see.
What was
the-
the point of this character? I mean, you said that you could tie it together a little bit.
Yeah, so it's all about the flashbacks. They used one of the main characters in the movie, the girl. Her dad was Val Kilmer and was the investigator on the original movie
Uh-huh.
or the original
Yes.
series of murders.
But I wouldn't have known
But
that.
they did such a poor job with the flashback element
Yeah.
that you actually thought that was going on the same time. And
Yes.
this person was killing in another city at the same time that they were over here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the very end where I think you were talking about, Todd, where they started kind of out
Kind
loud
of.
talking about what was happening so you knew how to connect the dots.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
It was cool when he got his head blown off with a shotgun. Though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was.
That was a good scene. Spoiler alert.
I mean, yeah, we try to
Val-
keep it spoiler free, but we
Well, yeah.
talk about it. A little bit,
I guess
so.
the whole thing was she wanted revenge and wanted to get her dead, but it just didn't seem enough, and it wasn't. They just didn't do a good job with the
No.
cohesiveness of it. So,
Nope.
but yeah, hopefully they get another crack at it or something because, like Shane said, there's several books and maybe they're wanting to do another one. They definitely left the cliffhanger at the end as if.
Yeah.
So, maybe. But usually when movies don't make much money, they don't come back for another pass.
Yeah, I had read on the internet that they were hoping to get a series of a couple of movies similar to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but if they'll have to rescue this one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be hard to come back.
Well, Shane was saying maybe when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray that they'll have a director's cut that might provide a little more of the
Outcome.
the backstory and the cohesion that was lacking there.
Yeah, it wasn't like you said. I think what it came down to was we were waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen, and it never did.
And then
Yes.
I was happy about that though.
Oh, well, of course you.
I was very happy that I did not have to sit there and see all this blood and gore.
yeah.
And I was disappointed. I wanted it to be. I knew it wasn't going to be.
Yeah, because the previews kind of lead you to believe it's like
It was almost like a
Jason, but as a
Halloween or
snowman.
something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And honestly, I think you see the most interesting things in the previews.
Yeah.
So you
That's
see the
bad
previews.
when the
then-
best part of the movies are
Mhm.
all you've already seen them in
Yeah.
the commercials.
Yeah.
When he was looking down that hole
Yes.
and the girl was
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
first, that was like, oh, come on, man.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we were pretty generous with our 6 after talking about it.
Yeah,
Well-
well, it was worth watching, and
Yeah.
it could have, should have been a lot more.
Yeah, what was there was good. It just was missing some stuff. So that's kind of the overall.
I agree.
But so yeah, comment and let us know if you like this new format. We're going to continue to fine tune it and kind of go from there. I'm not sure. Does anybody have any idea what the next movie's going to be?
It's Todd's pick.
No idea yet. So,
So like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time.